This is what Trump is like, okay? Trump is a guy named Hibbler, and Hibbler comes out and he's like, we're gonna deal with these Jews, okay? We're gonna round them up, we're gonna deal with them. And after 5 years of death camps, Hibbler has killed like 2,000 Jews. Like, he's not even good at what he does. Like, imagine if the Holocaust was like 2 families. Like, that's like Trump's everything.
Probably one of the biggest modern problems that we have is that basically like people's performative empathy ends up creating problems for other people instead of the people that they're being empathetic towards. So they're basically trying to make themselves feel good by helping one group of people, but in the process of that, they're hurting another group of people instead. So I view it as like concentric circles. And so obviously it's good to have empathy for everyone, but you should prioritize people in your country first. And so whenever you make a decision based off of those concentric circles that we all know to be true, like, you know, you'd be more likely to make a decision in the best interest of your parent. Like, you know, you'd be more likely to make a decision in the best interest of your parent more than maybe a friend, you know, you would hope, right? And more in the interest of a friend than an acquaintance, and more in the interest of an acquaintance than a stranger. And so all of this exists in kind of a logic. There's like a logical structure of this that everybody acknowledges to be true on a personal level, but the moment that you extrapolate this to a group level, somehow we're supposed to pretend like it doesn't exist. I don't think that's a good way of looking at things. And I know that, like, for me, a lot of people that talk about this, you know, like they try to worry about the optics. I don't mince my words about it at all. I think that if you come here and have a kid, I think the entire family should get deported, period. That's it.
Okay.
No exceptions, no, but what abouts, no, but it's bad over there. I literally don't care, even for, like, it's not even 1%. And it's not because I don't care about them.
He's doing a really, really, really interesting thing here. It's related to that one, like, fallacy, I guess you'd say, to where like like a black guy walks into a place, you just scream the N-word at him. You're like, bro, what's going on? And you're like, well, unfortunately, sometimes in society, like, people can be racist for all sorts of really dumb reasons, and they think it's acceptable to, like, you know, just like scream slurs at people. And it's like, yeah, I understand you're describing that. You're making it sound like an unfortunate byproduct of other things, but like, you're doing it. So what? Why? I don't understand what just happened there. I don't understand what that explanation was to me, because it sounds like you're giving an explanation for how people can fall into this fallible thing, but then you're like actively doing it. He just gave this whole explanation, which I agree with 100%, by the way. Naturally, we do extend empathy to people that are closer to us in a variety of ways, like both like physically, familially, ontologically. We're more likely to feel sympathy for people, you know, who are probably a similar race, a similar set of values, similar language, similar country, you know, geographically, people in our states neighborhoods, right? This is true. But I think that's like 70-30. I think it's like probably not good. And then 30% is actually like understandable and probably noble. Like, I would expect an ordinary person, given the opportunity to save one child or another child, I would expect them to always save their child, right? Just full stop, period. But like, given the opportunity to save their child or 3 other children, the morally good thing would probably be maybe to save the 3 other children, but I would understand them saving their child, right? But it's like an understandable fault or something. I don't know how you'd call it a fault. I don't know how you would describe that. So Asmongold lays out this whole set of circles of how we care about people. We extend empathy more to people that are close to us. Descriptively, this is true. But then he walks out this huge prescriptive statement of, that's why if anybody comes here and has a single child, deport the entire goddamn family. It's like, whoa, hold on. You're describing this not like it's a descriptive reality, but like this is like the morally righteous way to function in society. That's a little bit fucked up, right? It's like saying, it would be the equivalent of saying, it's very easy for us to empathize with people around us. It's very easy for us not to think or consider, you know, the well-being in people who are far from us. This is what makes slave labor such an easy thing to tolerate when it's in other countries, because the slavery is not right around us. And that's why I make sure that whenever I buy stuff made by slave labor, it's always from a country that I'll never visit. And that way I never have to look at them. So I can just buy all the slave-produced goods possible, but I don't have to actually look at them ever. So it's okay. It's like, wait. It sounded like you were describing that as like a kind of like a bad thing, like a bad human moral intuition or something. but now it sounds like you're actually saying it's like you're telling people that it's a way to live. The way he just described all this and then gave that prescriptive statement at the end there was like wild.
Entire family should get deported, period. That's it. No exceptions, no, but what abouts, no, but it's bad over there. I literally don't care even for, like, it's not even 1%. And it's not because I don't care about them. It's that I care about the people here more. And I want to do what's in their best interest. And when I allow people to exploit my systems to
like one of the problems too with Asmongold and the way that he's thinking here, because I don't even, it's hard. It truly is hard to know how much of it is like audience capture versus whatever other million things could be going on. But like Asmongold's thought process here, we would say is valid, but maybe not sound. Right? Assuming the premises of his argument are true here. I mean, his conclusion is correct. If it was the case that people were coming to the country, stealing from us, making the whole place worse off, destroying our labor markets, making everything fucked, destroying the culture and everything, then I can actually, I mean, the conclusion kind of logically follows. Yeah, you should just deport literally all of them, of course. So like the theory is correct, but the factual foundation of a lot of the things are just not right, which is, I think, one of the more frustrating things sometimes. But then the issue is when you push them on the facts, they seem unwilling or unable to engage, which makes you think, well, hold on, maybe there's more at work here than what you're saying. I don't know.
Exploit my country to take advantage of it at the expense of other people. What I'm effectively doing is I am weaponizing my
Making me the LGBT book ban SCOTUS edition. How many pages is it?
Empathy to make myself feel good at the expense of people who should be, my countrymen. And I think that's the wrong perspective to have.
135, I'm good.
I think it's very unfair. And a lot of people, this is a big problem with leadership. It's a big problem with decision-making. And this is why anytime somebody is a huge asshole, I'm usually a big fan of them, because I think to myself, maybe we'll finally have somebody who's willing to do what it takes. Because a lot of times, there are, like in life, there are a lot of trolley problems where you're choosing a lesser evil or a greater evil. And the people who are afraid of that end up allowing both evils to happen. Or they end up choosing the greater evil, but because the lesser evil is more immediate.
Trump just sucks at all of this. This is just what I don't understand about people that support Trump. Imagine this is what Trump is like, okay? Trump is a guy named Hibbler. Okay? You're in a country, you think Jews fucked your country over, they ruined everything, and finally, you get a brave, strong, anti-Semitic Nazi leader, Hibbler. And Hibbler comes out and he's like, we're going to deal with these fucking Jews, okay? We're going to round them up, we're going to deal with them. And then Hibbler sends in the German whatever and does all these raids and all this shit. And after 5 years of death camps, Hibbler has killed like 2,000 Jews. And it's like, bro, come on. We got our brown shirts on. We beat the shit out of liberals and communists for this? 2,000 Jews? Seriously? Like, he's not even good at what he does. Like, imagine if the Holocaust was like 2 families. Like, that's like Trump's everything. Like, it's not even like Trump was, like we deported 4 million illegals so far because of all of our work. It's like we've broken into 7 Home Depots and we kicked out half of the, stocking. I don't think back of house. I don't think they use that in retail. But it's like he's not good at anything he does. He hasn't even done anything. He's not even good at what he's doing. And look at all the trouble that he's causing. Like all of the political turmoil, all of the unrest. And it's for nothing. It's not like he's doing that in exchange for, there was a whole bunch of unrest, but he got all these things done on the back of it. Like, it's just like nothing. In a way, that's a good thing, no? I mean, it's good for us, but when you talk to MAGA who attack what you use for news sources, notice how all of them just repeat Trump verbatim. You ought to call that out. It seems to be their entire space. Yeah, I don't know if it's just the particular TikTok debate space that I've kind of I'm starting to jump into a little bit, or if all of the TikTok debate spaces like this. But oh my God, I don't even know how to describe the level of engagement. LLMs, I think, could do better than the conversations, most of the conversations I've had so far. Like when that one guy was like, when I bring up that, first of all, I hate having to Google uncontested facts, okay? Nobody reasonable is saying that Ukraine and Russia, have stopped fighting. That's like not even a contended fact, right? And then for that guy to be like, "Whoa, they're still, Russia still bought me Ukraine. Give me a source." It's like, okay, f it. And then I don't know if this is on stream, if it was on my screen or not, but I just like Google like Ukraine, Russia attack. I think I just Googled this and I clicked news. I'm like, okay, well, here's the first thing from Politico. And the guy didn't even go with the level 1 attack of, oh, you're going to trust Politico, the mainstream media. He went with like the level 0 attack of, oh, you're just going to believe the first thing you see off Google. Like,
I'm going to base my opinion on whatever's going on based on the facts that are being reported by these places. Yes.
You just randomly Googled, and the first thing that came up, you believed. Right? That's what happened. Don't act like you were like looking into this before. You had no idea.
Is there any?
Hold on. No. First,
I think I was actually truly stunned for like 10 seconds after he said that. I'm like, I don't even actually know how to, I don't even know how to respond to that. Right? Like, imagine you're researching some guy's biography and you go to the library, you rent a biography and you open it, and the guy's like, you're going to trust the first few words you read off some dead trees? And it's like, am I? What? What? Yeah. What? I don't know what I'm even supposed to say to that. Oh, and then the guy didn't understand, like, there's like a categorical difference between, what would this even be under? What would I have to study? Some philosophy book, probably. There's a categorical difference between statements of fact and opinions. I don't need philosophy to know that. Because I was like, well, Politico here is reporting these facts, the news about, 17 Ukrainians died. And the guy's like, oh, well, let's say Politico published an article saying Trump was the best president. Would you believe that? And it's like, well, that's an opinion piece. And it's like, well, isn't it their opinion that 17 people died? And it's like, I mean, strictly speaking, I guess, yeah, but it's not really the same thing. We're not really talking about the same. I don't even know how to respond to this. Wait, well, hold on, Jesus. Oh, my God. And it's like, yeah, I'm like in an epistemic black hole. And then the, and then the infallible strategy of, I haven't heard of that. What do you think about Trump going after like all the law firms? I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. Wouldn't it be technically Politico's opinion on reporting that though? It's not like they're just using no sources, yeah. But it's a different type of, there's some, I don't know if it would be linguistics or whatever. There's some academic branch that would do well that I could borrow language from here, but I don't know it. But there's like these are two different statements. Even if both of these statements were my opinion, I don't know why I'm trying to open up, saying that I think 7 people died is a different kind of statement than I think jazz is the best genre of music. Even though those are both thoughts that I have, and even though those both might be opinions that I have, I guess, they're speaking about a different type of thing, right? Like one is a material fact that anybody with sensory organs should be able to agree upon, right? Everybody should be able to look at that. It doesn't require some kind of subjective assessment, like 7 people are dead. Okay. Versus the other kind of thing is a subjective evaluation of or analysis of things that might require subjective weighting of different things or whatever, right? It's a different kind of statement, yeah. Oh, Asron, you're actually correct. That's what I should be saying. When I present something and they haven't heard of it, I should just say, oh, okay, well, let's say this was true. Now that I'm telling you this, if it was the case that Donald Trump did these things, don't you think that would be bad? And then see what they say there, yeah. I love asking your source. What's your source? My intuition.
Who do you rely on for reporting about Ukraine and Russia? Who do you rely on for your reporting for that?
I just rely on my intuition, basically.
So nothing. Your feelings.
I
You
mean,
just earlier said that feelings are bad. Intuition is your feelings, right? So you rely on your feelings for it?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're laughing, but this is truly how a lot of these people function. It's how my mom functions. Whenever we would debate, and even now, like she'll circle back to like, Stevie, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. And what they saw was 24/7 wall-to-wall coverage of right-wing propaganda. And that is what they say. It truly is their reality. Right? This is why I say, I'd have a little bit of empathy, I guess, but because when I step into these circles and I argue with some of these people, I'm truly coming in and saying the equivalent of like, man landed on Jupiter 30 years ago, and I want you to believe me because I'm a streamer guy. Like that's the equivalent type of statement. It's like contradicting stuff related to the MAGA narrative. Like, what do you mean? I've literally seen Charlie Kirk talk about this on a YouTube video on a college campus, and then Jack Posobiec tweeted about it, and then Donald Trump truthed the exact same thing, and then I saw our vice president and 10 congressmen echo the exact same thing, and then even Fox News, even though they're the mainstream media, has picked it up, and they're saying the exact same thing. And then when I go on all of my social media feeds, I see 50 million combinations of AIs, small-time podcasters, Joe Rogan guests, and all of my friends and family say the same thing, and now I'm talking to this random cuck, and he's saying something completely different. Who the fuck are you, right? That's the level of reality divergence is insane. How do you dismantle a constellation like that? Rehab, or you ship somebody off into the forest and reprogram their brain. I don't think you can. Unironically, I don't know if you can.